Good evening, everyone. I would like to call the August 5th, 2024 School Board for the Nash County Board of Education to order at this time. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would please stand and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much for that. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda, please.
So second.
Motion made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Dr. Chavis. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Board members, at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as located in Assembly for the June 3rd meeting, as well as the July 22nd special called board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Dr. Chavis, seconded by Mr. Edwards. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Oh, I'm sorry. Board Member Gray for the record. Thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you so much. We are now at item number 5 on our agenda. That is the recognitions portion of our meeting.
Special recognition. On behalf of Nash County Public Schools, we congratulate Sylvia Halter of Nashville Elementary on being one of the A. Craig Phillips Honored Educator Scholars for 2024-25 by the Development Foundation of North Carolina Center for the Advancement of Teaching, NCPS. This scholarship serves as a perpetual memorial to Craig Phillips as an outstanding North Carolinian who dedicated his life to strengthening administrators, empowering teachers, and motivating parents to support education for all children. Each year, the Craig Phillips Honored Educator Scholarship Fund provides 3 kindergarten teachers from North Carolina the opportunity to attend the professional development programming of their choice. The scholarship covers all costs associated with a teacher's participation in NCAT, including instructions, food, lodging, travel to and from campus. I would like to congratulate Ms. Harlow. She will receive a $250 use in the classroom. Congratulations again. So recently, Heather Louise Finch won the competitive Triangle Business Journal's 40 Under 40 Award. She was honored for her community service contributions in Nash County and her leadership in communication and engagement. Finch was the only Nash County resident to be awarded this honor in this class. Each year, the 40 Under 40 Awards recognizes 40 rising stars in the local business world who have all distinguished themselves in their companies, communities, and industries, all before their 40th birthday. These young professionals are executives, innovators, and entrepreneurs who represent our region's next generation of businesses and community leaders. Congratulations. Our NCPS heroes, Ms. Sarita Lamb. She told me she never was going to come to a board meeting like that. I remember that. I know what to get you. I know how to get you here now. So we are honored to recognize Sarita Lamb for the Hero Award for her 7 years of dedicated service as a communications specialist and board clerk for Nash County Public Schools. Sarita has consistently demonstrated a principled dedication to our district's values and beliefs, navigating the communications team through transitions of 4 different executive directors with integrity and support. Her loyalty and commitment to ethical standards have been a guiding light for our department, ensuring that we always uphold the highest principles in our work. Sarita's contributions to efficiency have been invaluable, often working extra hours to ensure everything is handled meticulously. Sarita's reliability and collaborative spirit have significantly helped a small team accomplish tasks that typically require a staff of 5 in other districts. Her willingness to work positively and respectfully with others exemplifies what it means to be a true team player. Sarita has led the United Way campaign for 8 years, always surpassing the achievements of the previous year. She has a big heart and truly cares about those around her. She always has everything in order and completed well ahead of time. She is meticulous about planning and ensuring tasks are accomplished in a timely manner. Thank you for all the work you have done for the Department of Communication in Nash County Public Schools. Rita, you didn't put anything here about timelines. The next NCPS hero is Rod Whitley. We are thrilled to recognize Rod Whitley for his exceptional contributions to Nash County Public Schools, especially during this summer as we transition to a new student information system. Rod's hard work, dedication, and expertise have been instrumental in ensuring a smooth and successful transition for our district. As a Student Information and Systems Support Director within the Student Support Services and Operations, Rod has shown leadership and resilience. His deep understanding of student information systems and his ability to manage complex tasks have been pivotal. Constantly called upon to address countless issues, Rod's knowledge and information are essential to our district's function. For the past 6 months, Rod has been a cornerstone of the district's SIS implementation. His meticulous attention to detail, proactive problem-solving skills, and clear communication have been invaluable. Rod has worked tirelessly to anticipate challenges, provide timely solutions, and support his colleagues, ensuring a seamless transition for staff and students alike. A team player who goes above and beyond. Rod's colleagues answer questions, and Rod answers questions and shares his vast knowledge. His contributions extend far beyond his job description, making him indispensable. Rod surely embodies the qualities of an NCPS hero with his dedication, leadership, and commitment to our students and staff. Thank you, Rod. He gets to work for Dr. Farrow. Kelvin Leonard. He is a gentleman who goes above and beyond to ensure that our students are at school each day. Mr. Kevin Leonard is worthy of this recognition. Although he does not work at any one school, he makes certain that students get to and from school safely and in a timely manner. Whenever I call him, his words to me are always, "Okay, I'm going to see what I can do." He does not avoid phone calls from me and promptly returns my calls. What really makes him a hero is during testing, he was driving the bus himself to make sure students were given the opportunity to get from school each day. He not only did this during testing, but he hops on the bus anytime he's needed to fill a spot. Nash County is lucky to have him. And as an interim administrator at DS Johnson, we appreciate all the job that he's done. I want to end this with kudos to Mr. Kevin Leonard from DS Johnson students and staff. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll
Let's
get it
give
next week.
all of those individuals another hand. Awesome job. Thank you so much. We are now at agenda item number 6, our public input portion of the meeting. Each month, a part of at least one regularly scheduled board meeting will be set aside for citizens to address the board through public comment. A sign-up sheet will be available in the communications office for any individual or group to indicate their desire to address the board. The deadline is noon the day of the board meeting. Any individual or group can sign up by appearing in person or by calling the communications office. You will have 3 minutes for public comments. The superintendent shall develop additional procedures to ensure that the public comment sessions proceed in an efficient and orderly manner. Board members will not respond to individuals who address the board except to request clarification of points made. Except in cases of emergency, information received during the presentations will not be acted upon at the time it is received. It will take a unanimous vote of the board members present to take action on a presentation considered to be of an unusual or emergency nature at the time it is presented. And lastly, disruptions by any person or persons of a public meeting will be subject to action in accordance with General Statute 143-318.17. If the board does not hold a regular meeting during a month, the board will not provide a time for public comment at any other meeting held during that month, unless a majority of the board votes to allow public comment at the meeting, or unless the purpose of the meeting is a public hearing. We do have individuals joining us this evening for public comment. If Maureen Willis would please come forward, please.
Thank you and good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Maureen Willis Peacock and I'm a retired educator. I taught at Nash Community College, Nashville Elementary School, as well as Zebulon Elementary School in Wake County. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of LifeWise Academy tonight. Foremost, I want to thank you for all the hard work that you do each day for our students in Nash County Public Schools. Back in February of this year, I received a call from my neighbor, Bob Horn. He invited me to an information meeting for a school program called LifeWise Academy. I began to research the program, and I found that it is during the school day. I also found that in 1952, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld a ruling for release time during the school day for religious instruction. This religious instruction during the school day is privately funded, it is parent permitted, and it is off school property. I found that the data shows in the last 4 years, it was implemented in 2019. So the last 4 years, the data collected has increased attendance in all the schools that provide LifeWise Academy. It has decreased in-school suspensions. It has decreased out-of-school suspensions. So it is just an incredible program. Later that month, I attended an informational meeting and signed up to be part of the steering committee. We met several times and set up a meeting with our superintendent, Dr. Ellis. We presented the LifeWise Academy opportunity for Nash County Public Schools. We addressed any questions that he had. Dr. Ellis stated he would get back with us after checking with the chief counsel for the Nash County Public Schools. We received an affirmative to begin LifeWise Academy. From there, soon after, we met with the steering committee, met with Mr. Mangano, principal of Nashville Elementary. He and the VP at Nashville Elementary were very impressed with the program and its results and affirmed the launch of LifeWise Academy this calendar school year. Mr. Mangano stated, and I quote, "I'm for anything that enriches the lives of our students." Upon that approval, the committee reviewed applications for a program director here in Nash County. And we interviewed and we hired Christy Smith as our program director for LifeWise Academy. LifeWise Academy serves our students not only in religious instruction, but works hand in hand with Nash County Schools with character education and SEL as well, education. So tonight, I hope that I've given you a little bit better understanding of how the process of serving and enriching the lives of our students here in Nash County. Thank you so much.
All right, Miss Robin Rurdy. I'm sorry?
Purdy.
I have R-U-R-D-Y on my list with a P. I'm sorry, it is Robin Purdy. I'm sorry. My list is incorrect, I'm sorry.
No worries. Good evening, Dr. Ellis, Chairwoman, Dr. Washington, and board members of Nash County Public Schools. My name is Robin Purdy, and my husband and I have 4 children in 3 of our public schools here in the city. We moved from South Louisiana in the summer of 2021 and immediately chose where we wanted to live based off of the meeting with various principals in the city. The past 3 years, our children have attended Winstead Avenue, Inglewood Elementary, and Edwards Middle School. This coming year, I'll have a freshman at Rocky Mount High, a 7th grader at Rocky Mount Middle, and 2 at Inglewood Elementary still. Our students have thrived because of your dedicated leadership, the talented and caring teachers, and the opportunities you have made possible for enrichment and athletics, in addition to classroom learning. Many of you remember me from Board of Education meetings in the past when we were advocating for Inglewood Elementary's playground. Thank you so much. After much hard work and lots of great conversation, I'm pleased to share that those students are loving their outdoor play space. Thank you for listening, thank you for caring, and thank you for acting on behalf of our community to provide a safe, fun, outdoor learning environment. As a Nash County Public School parent, our family seeks to be involved, partnering with you and our amazing schools to provide an excellent, holistic education that serves all of our students. We believe that every child that enters our school district has an incredible opportunity for growth and needs a village to surround them, helping them be successful in the classroom and in their community. Over the past 3 years, I've volunteered in all of my children's schools, served on PTA and PTO boards, and sought to partner with my particular children's principals to serve the needs of their school. I'm excited to share with you the desire for LifeWise Academy to enter the Nash County Public Schools District, to come alongside the schools to further help our children grow in character, learn to respect others, and emulate qualities that will enhance a learning environment, such as personal responsibility, patience, truthfulness, mercy, confidence, and perseverance. Growing up in this world today is not easy, and many of our students lack critical support on the home front. That makes learning more challenging to them. Having the joy of serving as a substitute teacher and completing several long-term sub-assignments, I've seen firsthand the power of a trusted adult speaking into a student's life, believing in them, listening to them, and inspiring them to make wise choices. LifeWise Academy wants to partner with NCPS to provide character-based training using biblical examples to bless the community. I look forward to many more years working together, serving side by side as we seek to instruct our children to be world changers, using their personalities, their gifts, their passions to create a flourishing community for all. Thank you for your service to our students.
Thank you. Tammy Long.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I also have taught here in Nash County, 22 years, just retired in November. I also teach a summer reading program for students that are English as second language. In the past few years of teaching, I saw a majority of students that lack good communication skills, especially within our pre-K population. Probably about 85% of kids that we tested just had no communication skills at all. And so I don't know if we can attribute these things to COVID, because that lack of socialization during that time, or the time that our kids spend on technology. But relationships are very important. Relationships, student to teacher, child to parent, student to student. All those have been strained through the COVID and the technology issues. But I see later on in life, these can also affect our students as they try to get jobs and they can't communicate what they know, what their education is, those kinds of things. So how can we help in these areas? And I see that LifeWise, it teaches these skills through the gospel, and that their character education is taught through the gospel. And I think that in the past, we have focused on people that show character through aspiration, So things that they aspire to be, and there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of the kids I work with in the summertime have a hard time even seeing that they're going to be able to go to college. And so it's nice to see that when we use the Bible and characters from the Bible, that they are flawed, just like we all are. And so when we look at that, they can see themselves in a lot of those people, whether they're physical issues or emotional issues, that we can learn from the Bible and see God's grace and mercy through this. And so the kids are not only going to be able to read the Bible, they're also going to play games. They're going to have activities that focus on those character traits. And I think, too, when we look at it, every classroom, when you have 10 children, we have to have one teacher and 2 adults, 2 other volunteers. So you're looking at 3 adults that are in a classroom of 10 kids. And as you add more kids, you add more volunteers. So you're looking at relationships that can be built with those adults. Even if these kids don't have other strong adults in their life, they'll have these adults that they can go to and talk to about their problems and things that are going on in their lives. So that those communication skills that were lacking earlier on can be developed through this program.
Thank you.
Christy Smith.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me speak this afternoon. My name is Christy Smith, and I am a native of Edgecombe County. I have 21 years' experience in education in all forms, from public to private to homeschool. I have my master's in education, and I was K-12 certified. I am the program director for Nash County LifeWise. And I would like to express also my gratitude for all of the hard work that you have done recently. It has not gone unnoticed. I first learned about release time in 2018, and I was very interested in how this could be an option for public school students here in Nash County. And I learned several years later that a steering committee had been formed. Not only was I excited for the opportunity for parents to choose religious instruction for their children during school hours, but the early data spoke for itself. The data coming out of the northern states like Ohio and Indiana, where release time has been in place for 4+ years, shows that in 1 year there's a drastic increase in student attendance, with some schools showing a 96 to 98% student attendance on the days that LifeWise classes were in session. In year 2 and 3, there was a noted decrease, as mentioned earlier, in ISS and OSS suspensions. And the projections for year 4 and beyond were an increase in academic performance. 2 weeks ago, a program director out of Olentangy, Ohio, told me that I was a visionary. I had never been told this before. I had been categorized as a dreamer, but never a visionary. But as the first named program director in the state of North Carolina, I do have a vision for our school district. I envision LifeWise launching beginning at Nashville Elementary, but with classes being offered eventually over our entire district, from elementary to high school. I envision students embracing the character qualities that we teach in the LifeWise classroom and applying those when they return to their public school classrooms. I envision students leading other students to apply those character qualities and changing not only the culture of the classroom, but the culture of an entire school. I envision the positive statistics coming out of the northern states becoming our statistics here in Nash County, and teachers being able to spend more time on instruction and less time redirecting behavior in the classroom because of what they're learning in a LifeWise classroom. I also envision that Nash County Public Schools becomes the example to follow for the rest of the state of North Carolina. Yes, it's a big vision, but I believe that nothing is impossible. I cannot promise exactly how this vision will unfold, but I can promise that there will be bumps in the road. But I can also promise that my leadership board and staff will set our sights on integrity and excellence, seeing ourselves as an additional support for the great work that you are already doing. Thank you.
All right, and Mr. Sharp.
First of all, I'd like to recognize the LifeWise group. Would you guys please stand? You know, I am so excited. When I first heard about this, I think I was at church and one of my constituents or one of my members says, "Hey, Mr. Sharp, have you heard about LifeWise?" I said, "Never heard of it." So they began to share with me. And one of the things that I thought was a tremendous segue with what our retreat, thank you guys, ladies, was basically what we did in our retreat today. In our retreat today, we talked about OSS, out of school suspension. We talked about behavior. We talked about dropout rates. We talked about all those things. And as we looked over what LifeWire has to offer, one of the very first things that we decided to do was actually put together a steering committee. Those folks that serve on the steering committee, would you please stand? These guys worked diligently hard just putting together this program. Thank you very much. And I saw how it would impact our children. I remember my sister Ann Edge would always say, make the main thing is always about who? Our children. And so often we've gotten off the path of what our objectives are to be. Likewise, as I looked at it, it talked about what we can create and change the behavior of our children. One of the things as far as strategic plan that we talked about is behavior. How do we change the structure of behavior inside our school system? And so when we started looking for a program director, God planted us with this wonderful visionary, Christy Smith. And she had the vision and the mind to do that. So when that happened, we began to look at how we could help that program or work with that program. We had a conversation with Dr. Ellis, and we went over to Nashville Elementary School. And the team ran that program. And one of the things that, and I just want to quote this because it was right on the board for Nashville Elementary School. Their objective goal number 3. This is their objective goal number 3. Nashville Elementary staff will provide behavioral support and individual behavior intervention practice throughout the 23-24 school year, thereby reducing the number of students receiving 5 or more referrals school-wide from 59% to 35%, and this increase almost 40%. That's what we talked about in this retreat. That's what we're looking for, what we do with our kids. Folks, I really appreciate the hard work that you guys are doing. You know, we know that work is not easy, but the race is not always given to the fast, but those who endure. Those that endure with what they're called to do. So be patient, work with them. I'm so excited how that's going to work and grow and develop our kids. Thank you so very much.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move on to our business items. That concludes our public input session. We'll move on to our business items, and that is item number 7, donations. Dr. Ellis.
So dear board members, please accept this request for the following donation. Bailey Elementary has received a $3,000 grant from the Dollar General Literacy Foundation. The grant will be used to purchase supplies for the media center, including books, STEM lab materials, and other resources. Sylvia Halter, a teacher at Nashville Elementary, received a $250 donation for being honored as the Craig Phillips Honored Educator Scholars for the 2024-25 by the Development Foundation of the North Carolina Center for the Advancement of Teaching, NCPS. Present this to the board.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make the motion that we accept these donations with great appreciation.
Is there a second? Second. Motion made by Dr. Chavis, seconded by Mrs. Thomas Bullock. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you so much. Item number 2 under our business items, personnel recommendations. Mrs. Wallace.
Good evening, Board Chair Dr. Washington, Vice Chair Mr. Lamb, and present board members. The personnel report has been discussed and reviewed. It has also been amended. On behalf of Superintendent Ellis, your approval of the amended report is requested at this time.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Dr. Chavis, seconded by Board Member Sharp. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Wallace. All right, so now we will begin our committee meeting reports. We'll start with policy. Ms. Bullock.
Thank you. Our first item for discussion tonight is final read on 10 policies that was presented for first read at our last board meeting. The policies are policy 4040/7310, staff student relations, policy 4140, foreign exchange students, policy 4240/7312, child abuse and related threats to child safety, policy 4270/6145, concussion and head injury, policy 5023/6128/7268, emergency administration of naloxone, policy 6125, administering medicines to students, policy 7130, licensure, policy 8340, insurance, policy 8510, school finance officer, policy 5071/7351, electronically stored information retention. Madam Chair, I move that we give final approval to these policies as outlined.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Board Member E. Bullock, seconded by Board Member Sharp for the record. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Madam Chair, the policies that I'm about to report for first read, I will do them in two different groups, if I may. The first group of policies that I will present, the motion will be that we waive the 30-day wait. Policy 1725/4035/7236, Title IX, sexual harassment, prohibited conduct and reporting process. Policy 1725/4035/7236, Title IX, sexual harassment definitions. Policy 1726/4036, /7237, Title Non-Sexual Harassment Grievance Policy. Those policies are for rescinding. Also added to that list when we were in our committee, we voted to recommend to the full board that policy 7232 be included in the policy, that we would not waive the 30-day policy. Since then, I would like to ask the board to include that policy in the policies, that we waive the 30-day wait. Also, policy 1710/4020/7230, I move that, 1720/4030/7235, Title IX, non-discrimination on the basis of sex. Policy 1725/4035/7236, Title IX, sexual harassment, prohibited conduct and grievance procedures. Policy 4023/7233. These policies, I move that we approve either to repeal or approve for action, and let them be approved for, and not wait on the table for 30 days.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion made by Board Member E. Bullock, seconded by Board Member Dunton. Is there any discussion?
I would like to add one other point.
Sure.
With the policies for approval, for Title IX, those policies dealing with Title IX issues, my motion also should include that we approve those with an addition of the savings clause that was presented to us by our superintendent, that gives the superintendent flexibility to follow the policy in effect at the time of the complaint.
Thank you, Ms. Bullock. So please amend the motion for the record to include the savings clause. I have Attorney Weber.
For clarity, it would help to read out those policy numbers. So that would be policy 1720, 4030, 17235, policy 1725, 4035/7236. And then the third policy with the savings clause would be policy 4023/7233.
Thank you. So the record is clear and correct. Do the motion and the second still stand? Ms. Eagle? Do the motion and the second
Yes.
still stand with the revisions?
Yes.
Mr. Dunton, thank you. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair, I'd just like to
Yes.
thank Ms. Bullock for the clarification of that, because I did have a question you cleared up, so thank you very much.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
The next policy is policy 1510/4200/7270, school safety. I recommend that we approve this for, first read, and we waive the 30-day wait.
Second.
All right, motion made by Board Member E. Bullock, seconded by Board Member Sharp. Is there any discussion on those policies? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known, by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
All right, and the last group that I have for tonight is policy 4329/7311, bullying and harassing behavior prohibited. Policy 1300, governing principal parental involvement. Policy 1500, governing principal safe, orderly, and inviting environment. Policy 1600, governing principal professional development. Policy 1700, governing principal removal of barriers. Policy 1742/5060, responding to complaints. Policy 1760/7280, prohibition against retaliation. Policy 2500, option B, hearings before the board. Policy 4040/7310, staff-student relations. Policy 7335, employee use of social media. And policy 7820, personnel files. Madam Chair, I move that we approve these policies to lay on the table for 30 days.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Board Member E. Bullock, seconded by Dr. Chavis. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Bullock.
Thank you.
Next committee is Mr. Dunton, Administrative Services and Operations Committee.
Thank you, Dr. Washington. Administrative Services and Operations Committee met, felt like it was just minutes ago. And we only had 2 agenda items. The first one is an action item. Mrs. Miller brought us from the superintendent a recommendation to accept the updated bids which are rollovers of the 23-24 school year for contracts around groceries, milk, produce, chemicals and equipment repair and services. Any questions for Ms. Miller? The recommendation is for committee that we approve.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Dunton, seconded by Dr. Chavis for the record. Is there any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Dunton.
And Dr. Washington, our second item
Yep.
was just for information. Ms. Saunders brought us a few year-end budget changes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dunton, and the Administrative Services and Operations Committee. The next committee is Student Support Services and Operations Committee, Mrs. Thomas Bullock.
So the Student Support Services and Operations Committee met, and we had two action items, the Chitter Chatter contract and the School Nurse Funding Initiative. And I recommended we approve both contracts.
Second.
All right. Motion made by Board Member Thomas Bullock, seconded by Board Member Lamb. Is there any discussion on these two items? All right, hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Mrs. Thomas Bullock. Final committee is the Academic Services and Accountability Committee. Mr. Lamb.
Mr. White gave us an update on the field trip of December from Northern Nash. I make a motion to approve the field trip.
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Lamb, seconded by Board Member Sharp. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you so much. We are now at agenda item number 12, the superintendent's report.
So good evening.
Good evening.
So I just want to go back to the board retreat where we highlighted several things the district has done this year. We had the demerger, a lot of obstacles in our way, and I just want to, as a superintendent's report, it's just to make sure that all staff members, classified, certified, just thank you for a great year. Some of these are preliminary numbers that we're getting, but I'm telling you, it was a great year for Nash County Public Schools, and it's a great year because we have you, so thank you for the staff members. So now let me give you some important dates. CTE, our first annual CTE Education Expo is from 11 to 2. I believe that's Wednesday, from 11 to 2 at Rocky Mountain High School. We have a back to school festival that is at Nash Community College. Schools will be represented. We have, now here it is, this is gonna be the place to be, free slushies for the first 300. We got games, door prizes, a petting zoo, food vendors, we got local community agencies, and our schools will be represented. And we're just gonna go out there and have a great time before school starts. So that is definitely gonna be the place to be. And on 8/19, we're gonna have our convocation. We haven't done that in a long time. And just like I said, we're gonna be highlighting teachers, and we're gonna just tell them how special they are and how we appreciate them. So that'll be a convocation on the 19th at Rocky Mountain High School from 9 to 11. Board members, I got a schedule for you, so you're gonna be able to participate. Get ready. And the first day of school is on the 26th. And lastly, I want to bring up, we talked about in our board retreat today about the Southern Nash Middle School grant that we received. And I would suggest that our board starts to beginning discussions of an ad hoc committee to start this process. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ellis. We are now at item number 13, the chair's report. Dear Nash County Public Schools employees and families, as we embark upon a new school year, the Board of Education is filled with a deep sense of gratitude and appreciation for each one of you. The dedication and hard work you bring to our schools is nothing short of remarkable, and it is because of you that our students continue to thrive and succeed. To our incredible educators, staff, and administrators, thank you for your unwavering commitment to providing our students with a high-quality education. Your efforts often extend beyond the classroom, and your positive impact is felt throughout our entire community. Your passion for teaching and your dedication to fostering a nurturing and stimulating learning environment do not go unnoticed. To our supportive families, your involvement and encouragement are vital to the success of our students. Your partnership with our schools helps create a strong foundation for learning and personal growth. Your trust in our educators and your active participation in your children's education are key components of our collective success. As we move forward into this new academic year, I would like to emphasize the importance of compassion and teamwork. Our strength lies in our ability to support and uplift one another. By fostering a culture of kindness and collaboration, we can create an environment where every student feels valued, respected, and empowered to reach their full potential. Let us approach this year with a renewed sense of purpose and a commitment to working together for the betterment of our school district. By extending empathy and understanding to our students, colleagues, and families, we can build a stronger, more inclusive, and resilient Nash County Public Schools. Thank you for your dedication, your hard work, and your unwavering support. Together, we can make this school year one of our best yet. Thank you. I do have just a few important dates coming up. Thursday, August 29th, will be our next next committee meetings. It just seems so close together. It's already August 5th. And then September 5th will be our next work session and board meeting. Please take note that that's a Thursday due to the Labor Day holiday. And if there is no further business to come before this board, yes.
I just have something quick to ask or request. I just wanted an open record when the full board approved the implementation of the Likewise program.
The full board has not in open session.
Oh, so we didn't approve the
You
program?
probably need to, I'm gonna send the video link, because it wasn't an approval, I'll send you a link of what Likewise is.
Okay.
It's like a club, it's not a.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen
It's
during, but
easier.
it's gonna happen during class hours.
It's better if I were to discuss it with you, because there's no need to do it right here.
Right.
Just a shocker. Gotcha.
Is there any further business to come before this board on this evening? Hearing none, thank you so much for your participation and your support of our school district, and have a great evening. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Made by Mr. Sharp, seconded by Dr. Chavis. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.